Ross Merriam, and Jake Mondello. They're on your left. Joseph DeJoy, Micah Larrow, and Elizabeth Rice are on your right. It's Amulet Titan, Demir Inverter, and Jun Sacrifice on the other side of things. So, gives you an idea of what we're working with here. These players will be given the green light, and we'll be underway to watch Merriam lose his Soulscar Mage to a Thoughtseize, as he's on a mulligan to not very many cards.
What do you think you put on the bottom?
You want me to,
Still got it.
Yeah, great question. Soulscar Mage off the top. There's a Watery Grave there for Micah. Ross going to get in here for 1 point of damage. Might see him play a Mutavault this turn. I think he does have one of those in his hand. He's just got to find it. There it is. Follow-up is another Soulscar Mage. So,
just a sick draws off the top.
Couple of good draw steps.
So running absolutely perfect.
That's an Ashiok. It's going to come down and exile a couple of cards. Bone Crusher Giant, Soulscar Mage, and Bobo, the Bomac Courier. I think that Ashiok, if Ross is able to draw a spell, not too tough to kill. This is Ramunap Ruins. That's going to fire up a Mutavault. And now, going to knock Ashiok down to 1. We'll head back over to Micah Leroy, who has another copy of Ashiok in hand, but his hand doesn't appear to be all that good right now.
I think lands. Looks like lands and just another copy of Ashiok.
And that's what I've got as well there, partner. One of those lands is a Castle Vantress, which is a very good land, but a little slow to get rolling.
Ooh, time to cash it in.
All right, well, cash it in we will. And now it's time to deploy another Ashiok is what it looks like to me, and there it is. Looks like Micah may have a copy of Inverter of Truth in hand as well, but it's not time to do that just yet. There's a Wild Slash, Goblin Rabblemaster, and a Monastery Swift Spear headed underneath old Ashiok. Merriam preparing to draw a card, and does so. Ross on the outside looking in for the Players' Championship last year. First person out, unfortunately, for him. But he took it in stride. And now trying to figure out exactly how to navigate through these difficult waters on a hand that did not start with very many cards for him, given the mulligans.
I mean, worst case scenario, you can attack for free.
Well, I've seen worse draws. Roll up the sleeves in time to get to work, perhaps.
Oh, so sick that you mulligan, so you get to just attack this turn.
Maybe that was all part of the plan.
Yeah. I did actually, back in the day, have someone complain at me at a PTQ when I mulliganed to 5 and then locked them with Curse Scroll. And they're like, it was really, like, they weren't kidding, though. It was like, I can't believe you mulliganed to 5. It was so lucky because your Curse Scroll was online faster.
Good. Yeah. That's a card we should see come back. Probably not.
I don't know. They make creatures bigger than they used to.
It's true.
It's just really repetitive.
There is Opt. Top card goes to the bottom. New card here for Micah. Choked Estuary among cards in hand.
Who really sunk that low?
Yeah,
is that what a dual land looks like nowadays?
It does.
Ooh.
It does.
Wow.
They can't all be winners. You got to work for it a little bit.
It's that bad out there, huh?
Yeah, it can be tough. Ashiok's going to get back a Goblin Rabblemaster. That's going to generate a Goblin token. It looks like it's going to be.
It's not really that bad out there, is it?
Believe it or not.
Is that
Ripley's?
Wow. Is that?
You're a hater.
No, I didn't know the times got that tough.
They can. We're going to head back over to Ross Merriam now. Hazaret the Fervent trying to steal this game here for Ross. This is a Monastery Swift Spear. And that, is a Bone Crusher Giant. Stomp, in fact, is the front half of that card. Now here comes some realistic beatdowns, and all of a sudden, for Micah, he's in some serious trouble losing this game.
Yeah, Ross's draw steps have been pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, that's all spells.
That's why you got to not be afraid to take a mulligan, my friend. There's a Temple. And part of the problem with the Splinter Twin combo, and of course that is Inverter of Truth and Thassa's Oracle, is those cards are not particularly good on their own.
No, they need a little help.
Yeah. And if my eyes don't deceive me, Micah has a couple copies of Inverter Troop, but they'd be horrible to deploy right now because then how would he win?
Another difference between this and Splinter Twin is the utility of your combo pieces.
Yes.
This be a good battlefield for Deceiver Exarch.
Wouldn't hate that.
Wouldn't hate it.
Tap down and Hazoret. Got a
good
1/4
blocker.
blocker. Yeah.
You got a time. Got a draw step.
I know folks like to compare Inverter Combo to Splinter Twin, but they are very different animals entirely. There's your block. A couple of points of damage are going to come through. And if Merriam has a land to maybe throw, well, he's got a card he can throw with Hazoret. So he's in no rush to do anything. And I actually like this. It's a minor thing there from Ross, but maybe picking up a little bit of information on his way out the door.
Yeah.
If Micah were to play another spell or something like that. But either way, Ross Merriam does win game number 1 here over Micah Larrow. As Mono Red aggroes up a game very quickly over Demir Inverter, even though Ross did have to do a little bit of mulliganing there. You also find at the top shelf, Chris Marshall with Heliod Combo is up a game over Joseph DeJoy playing Amulet Titan. So we go to the sideboards now. We'll start with Micah, who's got 3 Mystical Dispute, 3 Pack Rats, a Mirror Breaker, I suppose that is, 2 Cry the Carnarium, 2 Kalitas, Trader of Get, 5 1-ofs here in Legion's End, Enter the God Eternals, Ashiok, Nightmare Muse, a Languish, and an Ultimate Price.
I like Ultimate Price, Languish, Legion's Ends, 2 copies of Kalitas. The Cries are a little dodgy when so much of what Merriam has here are these prowess threats that he might be able to play over the top with. But Kalitas and Legion's End, the other spot removal, maybe Enter the God Eternals, though it is a little slow for this matchup.
Yeah, but it's good if it resolves.
Very good if it resolves, but Ross can win the game well in front of that card.
Take a look at Ross' side of things. He's got 4 Elan of the Great Revel, 3 Lava Coil, 2 Abrade, 2 Chandra's Defeat, 2 Direfleet Daredevil. I haven't seen that one in a little while. Same thing we said for Goblin Heel Cutter. Haven't seen that in a long time. And then Chandra, Torch of Defiance.
I really like Eidolon of the Great Revel in this matchup. The copies of Direfleet Daredevil, I think, are pretty strong against a deck that's playing with Thoughtseize. And I could see Lava Coil coming in here. It's very standard for these Inverter decks to have Kalitas in their sideboard, and Lava Coil is a pretty clean answer to that.
Well, folks, those are the options there for both players. Game number 2 are going to be underway here in just a moment, where Michael Larrow will be on the play. But for now, let's talk about the Star City Games YouTube page, shall we? Where we've got a ton of subscribers over there and a lot of awesome programs that they can watch.
Archives of all sorts of content, including Versus Live, Commander Versus, Flashback, Best of the SCG Tour, and much more. You can subscribe today over at youtube.com/Star City Games. Get notified when new content is uploaded to the page.
Speaking of Versus Live, look at those smiling faces.
This is before and after.
That's right. Corey Baumeister, Ross.
Look at
Merriam.
that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Corey, that's what things to come.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. A big happy beard every Tuesday and Thursday over at StarCityGames.com on our Twitch page, which is where you're watching this right now at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can watch them duke it out.
What happens when you get older? Well, a couple things. 1, you grow a beard, and 2, you start wearing a sweater over your collared shirt.
That's true. You do.
There you have it.
There it is.
Get ready for it, Corey.
We get ready here for game number 2 between Ross and Micah. Ross is someone who's had, again, a ton of success. He's one of the players, because you and I have been doing this so long, we've covered him from him trying to figure out how to play Magic on a very high level to being one of the best players in the room every single tournament he plays in.
Yes, and you can see 2019, another successful year for Ross with 4 open top 8s, though no wins. All-time, one of the SCG Tour's most decorated players with 28 open top 8s, 5 wins, and 2 invitational top 8s.
Still looking for that invitational win is Ross Merriam, but he is a Jeopardy fan. I'm sure he enjoyed that Clash of Champions that happened a week or 2 ago with Ken Jennings and the other 2 guys who were like outrageously good. And one of them, the person who does the sports betting and poker, I can't think of his name, likes to talk a lot of trash on Twitter. But also so does Ken Jennings.
The Matthew Dilks of Jeopardy.
They had a lot of fun with that. I thought that was really, really cool. I didn't tune in for any of it, but Twitter gave me the updates I was looking for. It looked like it was a blast.
I had a lot of fun on the rail of Ross's Jeopardy challenge.
The pranjawling of a lifetime.
Yep.
Yes, as we all remember.
Crashed on my couch, and then I hung out with him at the studio, you know.
Where was that show recorded at?
Culver City, which was I lived in Playa del Rey, so it's one town north, basically. 10-minute drive.
Got it. Culver City.
It's weird, the decorum there. You don't know how much you're supposed to root for your people.
What do you mean?
Well, it seemed like bad form if someone answered a question wrong and then Ross got it right.
Yeah.
If I went like, oh, like the N1 mixtape or whatever.
I don't think I would do that.
It wasn't that kind of vibe. Well, it wasn't. They didn't make the experience that much fun for the people in the crowd.
Should you boo them? should you boo the opponents if they got a question right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
If they fall face first on a daily double, just start clapping. Yeah, we needed that one, Ross. We're back in it. I like that the gamers.
Well, they announce what they do for a living when they're introducing the players or whatever.
Boring.
That's not a job.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but what we're doing is.
Yeah,
that's right. What we're doing is. That's for sure. Perhaps they'll invite you back to be just in the audience.
Yeah.
We could really spice up Jeopardy with just audience reactions of you.
Yeah.
People could hear it over the screen, but maybe never pan to you.
It's one of my favorite comedy moments is the player haters ball on Dave Chappelle's show when Ice-T gets up on the stage and someone in the crowd screams. It must have been ad-lib, but someone screams at Ice-T, "You look like a bootleg Ice-T."
Sure.
That person... I derived a lot of my inspiration for comedy from that exchange.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Ross is going to go down a card here, at least, as is Micah. So, I know you're a big fan of the Chappelle Show, I'm sure.
Medium. Some of it doesn't hold up all that well.
Okay.
It is. I think parts of it are extremely funny, and Dave Chappelle has a very naturally funny affect. But you go back and watch some of the stuff 10 or 15 years ago, and it looks like something that was made 10 or 15 years ago, for better and for worse.
Fair enough. If you want to join in on the conversation, you can do so on our Twitch page. Join the feature match area in that Twitch subscription program. You get to decide the quarterfinals, including here this weekend. We got the quarterfinals of our Team Open, along with custom emoticons and badges for you to have some fun with. Best of all, it's only $4.99 a month, or you can use that Twitch Prime subscription as well. Twitch.tv/StarCityGames is where you're watching this. You can watch Versus Live, you can watch Commander Versus, and a whole bunch more here over at StarCityGames.com. See if these players can find a hand to work with and get our eyes on some magic here in just a moment as we're in round number 6 of 9 today, 5 tomorrow before we make a cut to a top 4, not 8. These players playing for a lot. Playing for a lot here this weekend. Money, cryptic commands, SCG points, invitational qualifications, Players Tour qualification, which is taking place. The second Players Tour will be taking place in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I might be hanging out that weekend
Queen
regardless.
City.
That's right. Home of Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair. Big fans of both. $7,500 for the winning team here this weekend, along with 25 SCG points. Qualifying for that Season 1 Invitational at SCG Summer in Roanoke, Virginia. And that Players Tour qualification, don't forget those cryptic commands. So on and so forth. Go to StarCityGames.com/opens for more information. Looks like the players are going to keep their hands. They found what they want to put on the bottom, and now they've been given the green light. This is a choked estuary revealing an island.
Is it really that bad out there?
It's untapped now. Bomac Courier.
Busted.
Going to deal a point of damage. And now here is an opt. Michael will take a look at the top card. It will become the bottom card. New card coming. An island was the draw. The draw step now is a Fabled Passage. So lands won't be a problem this game. The early interaction will be. We'll head back over to Ross Merriam. He'll draw a card. Bomaker is going to serve him for another point of damage. Another card will go underneath the pesky construct. That's Raymond Ruins. This is an Eidolon the Great Revel.
Busted.
You're not wrong about
Another
that.
one of my favorites. Oh, no play.
Oh, no early interaction. Now, the Fatal Push was the draw step. You can see Micah's hand here. He does have an Ashiok and a Kalitas. Kalitas looking to stabilize the battlefield. Does have the second Black Source with the Fabled Passage, searching for a swamp. I think there's a pretty heavy reliance on Kalitas to be able to stabilize this battlefield. And will we deploy Ashiok this turn, or would we prefer to go the Fatal Push route? Looks like we're going to be doing a little pushing.
I think Ashiok, take 2 off your Eidolon, do nothing is too bad of a play.
It's not great.
I know it's painful to play off curve like that, but
Bomac Courier will take another card. Eidolon the Great Revel will die to the Fatal Push. He'll still deal 2. The Bowman Courier will get the 1 in, and let's see what the follow-up is here for Ross Merriam. Assuming, of course, that there is one. We'll see on the bottom there, Jake Mondello, he won his first game against Elizabeth Rice. So the team of Marshall, Merriam, and Mondello run away with this, the 3 M's on your left. And they are off to a great start, too, checking in at 5-0.
You know, it's a sweet synergy. Matt Courier plus Direfleet Devil on Fatal Push. I suppose Ross is just cashing in his chips here for an opt. But I was going to say, next turn, Larrow tapped out for that Cletus. We could see a fancy turn.
We could. We certainly could. Let's go back over to Micah now. Fatal Passage is going to sacrifice to get a swamp to deploy Cletus. Now Cletus is going to have to get in front of those lands. We got rules here in the feature match area.
Well, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. It's on the stack. Now it's on the battlefield.
Okay. Ross will draw. Does he have a removal spell for the 3/4? It's pretty important that he does.
Yeah, interested to see if he brought in the Lava Coils. Like I said, not intuitively a card you would want to bring in this matchup, but I've seen a lot of Cletuses in people's sideboards so far.
Cletus is the kind of card, if you can't kill it, it wins the game all by itself. There's a mountain. That's step 1 here for Merriam as he is thinking. Leads me to believe he doesn't have the answer.
Uh-oh, combo time. Direfleet Daredevil. So I target the push.
Okay.
Attack you. Before it blocks, sacrifice my Bowmat Courier. Revolts online. Bang.
Look how excited you are.
Combo time. Talking combos. Talking combos. New hand of cards, too.
Had to lose a Bone Crusher Giant, among other things, as there's the push. Now, do keep in mind a 2/2 zombie is made there.
First strike, doesn't care.
Because of the Cletus.
First strike on the Daredevil. Take your stupid zombie. Who cares?
That's right. You said it before I could even get there.
Oh, Languish. Who cares? 5 cards in my hand, and I got a Mutavault, too.
Yeah. Could deploy Ashiok.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can. Bang. Time to start milling.
Bone Crusher Giants.
Make this game about something else.
That's right. We're going to head back over to Ross. Bone Crusher Giant, Monastery Swiss Spirit, Bowmat's Courier underneath the Planeswalker right now.
Ross's leftovers against this Languish, you ask? Chandra, Torch of Defiance, Mutavault, and Ramonap Ruins.
Good leftovers.
Good leftovers against your sweeper.
That's right.
Yeah, look at that zombie. Just a speed bump.
Ashiok down to 3. The follow-up. Soulscar Mage. This is a land. That is a Stoke the Flames?
Oh, yeah. What you know about that?
I haven't seen that card in a long time. 4 mana deal for a little Convokey. I like that card. I always have.
Yeah. It's powerful and fun. It's a good one.
There's a land for the turn. Is it time to cast that Languish? I'm thinking no time like the present here, folks. There is Languish.
Don't care.
Yep. Tell us how you really feel, partner.
I'm just enjoying this game from Ross. I've played a million games like the one that Ross is playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
They never get old.
Yeah,
These games never get old.
There's another Ramonap Ruins.
What do you have? Best possible again? Whatever.
Yeah. Here comes Chandra.
Yep.
That's a powerful Planeswalker, folks.
Yep.
Elevator's going up. Bone Crusher Giant is the reveal. Gonna cast that one, it looks like, to have it go onto an adventure. I'm gonna stomp it on out. 2 damage there to Micah. Micah's draw was a copy of Enter the God Eternals with no target. Wow. Wow.
Couldn't be better. Just couldn't.
Wow.
This game, sometimes I have a couple games where I'm just jealous of not playing.
Monastery of Swift Spear is going to reveal Ramiap Ruins, deal you 2.
Oh, is it your best possible again? No targets.
Yeah. Fire up Mutavault. Play a Bone Crusher Giant, pass the turn back. Well, it sure got a target now.
Yeah, but he takes 2 if he targets the giant.
You know, I didn't know for a long time that had that text.
Yeah, it doesn't get targeted a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sort of ties back to the stomp, which is nice.
No,
it's 2
the
and
design
then 2.
is good.
Yeah,
it's
nice. It's nice.
Just the first one I took 2, I was like, what the heck? I was like, it has that on it too? Stomp. Yeah, that's right. It's a very, very good Magic card, is Bone Crusher Giant.
Oh, no, not your best possible again. Well, how am I supposed to beat that the 4th time? Yeah. It's no problem. It's no problem. It's not even close.
All right, here's the draw. Didn't get a great look.
Listen,
looks like it may have been an inverter.
I'm not saying that it's simple. It's complicated.
I understand.
But if I had the option between playing with Mutavault or Choke Estuary, I would select Mutavault.
Understood.
That would be the card I would go to war with.
Understood. Enter the God Eternal is going to do a lot. 4 damage to target creature, and you gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard, and you get to amass 4, which is mean to make a 4/4 zombie army creature token. So gain some life, kill the creature, make a 4/4, and pass the turn. There I am.
With just your huge shoulders.
Yep. Only getting bigger, buddy. Trust me. Been lifting a lot recently. Goodbye, army token. The follow-up. Rabblemaster. Make a Mutavault.
Not even close to being close.
Make a Goblin. Get you for 4.
Other Cedric Phillips.
Yes, I'm everywhere in this match.
Pre-workout and post.
That's right. Unfortunately for Micah, none of it's good. He drew a land to go along with, I think, an inverter. I just cast the inverter. Just let him know.
Yeah.
I mean, you might actually have to.
I think he's just dead on board. It takes 2 from Chandra and then creatures attack.
Yeah, sure.
Rabbit Ruins.
All right, fine. Yep.
Bang.
I like it. Go out on your own terms.
Bang.
That's my deck. See, with a smile.
Don't need it.
It's your turn. Are you going to kill me? Huh? With your Lightning Strike and your Chandra? Huh? Reveal. Bone Crusher Giant. Ross will not play it. There's a strike. We're all done. Ross Merriam going to win this game of match here for his team. His team's up 1 right now as Mono Red Aggro dispatches of Dimir Inverter pretty easily. So that means we're jumping down to standard very quickly. Thank you, intern Rob. You got the skills to pay the bills. As Jake Mondello is building up a bit of a battlefield here with Mono Red Aggro against Elizabeth Rice playing Jund Sacrifice. Mondello has an Experimental Frenzy, a Phoenix of Ash, and I believe a Bone Crusher Giant that may be on an adventure or it may not be. We will confirm there. As for Elizabeth, a lot of food tokens on the battlefield, but nothing really going on otherwise.
Very hard to win a deep game from the spot against Experimental Frenzy at 19 life.
We now have confirmation that the Bone Crusher Giant is actually on the battlefield, along with the Phoenix of Ash and the Experimental Frenzy.
Spots like this, Experimental Frenzy is just an avalanche of cards. You really don't even care what's coming off the top of the deck. As long as you can just keep the faucet on. If they're playing 1 or 2 cards a turn, no way to keep up that way.
Yep.
That's something that I like to do in these kind of matchups, especially something, from Rice's side, having a lot of food. Make the game about something else. Really hard to win just by the beatdowns, but if you just go ahead and make the game about raw card advantage, those food tokens don't amount to very much.
There's a Cauldron Familiar. Now here's a bunch of mana. Let's see what this is. Maybe something like a Corvold? No, it's going to be Massacre Girl.
Okay.
All right, so that kills. That's going to kill everything.
Okay.
Kills the Cauldron Familiar, then kills the Phoenix Vash, then kills the Bone Crusher and Giant, but does not take care of the problematic Red Enchantment and Experimental Frenzy. So we head back over to Mondello, who's going to draw a card. Picked up a copy of Lava Coil. Remember, he can't play cards from his hand. He's got to play them from the top of his deck. So that is a Fervent Champion. That's a land for the turn. Next is Torbrand. Okay. Pretty good.
Remember, can't play out of his hand.
Mm-hmm. And he will just pass.
So I think from Rice's perspective, what you would like to do is just turn this game into a race. Winning a game in the long term is going to be really, really challenging against Experimental Frenzy. But with your food and your Cauldron Familiar interactions, you might be able to win a short game. So try to make it about that.
Yep. And it looks like these Witch's Ovens are actually on the battlefield. So there are multiple Witch's Ovens and now a Cauldron Familiar. So we've got that engine rolling right now. So Rice is going to untap. She'll draw a card. We don't have a great look at it. Yep, okay, we're all good.
Yep.
Just want to make sure everything's clear for our viewers at home.
Complicated game. You hate to interject in that spot, but, really important to keep the battlefield clean.
There's an Overgrown Tomb. And is there an attack to be had here with the Massacre Girl?
As Menace, right?
It does.
So an attack there, it's not that productive because you can double block and then the Torbrand plus the first striker.
Takes care of it.
Yeah.
Runaway Steamkin to begin things here for Jake Mondello. I think a question Mondello may be asking himself now is it time to blow up this Experimental Frenzy and turn my hand back on? We just had that question answered. That's a mountain. This is a Lava Coil to take care of the Massacre Girl and put a counter onto the Runaway Steamkin. Going to sacrifice that copy of Massacre Girl to a Witch's Oven. Food token.
And Mondello does kind of want to speed up his clock a little bit here to the extent that he can because, again, even with the Experimental Frenzy no longer there, one, spots like this often they have a second copy, and two, you have enough resources now at this point where your odds of winning a long game are really, really good. You just got to concern yourself with winning the short one.
Torbrand and Fervent Champion are going to get attacking. And it looks like we'll have Cauldron Familiar jump in front of Torbrand. Cauldron Familiar is going to come back. We're going to do some exchanges. Yeah, this whole song and dance that you see with Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Oven, and food tokens. So there you go. End of the day, there will be 4, looks like. You said that Rice wants to shorten the length of this game. I agree with you there. It's just going to be pretty hard to do.
Can't win long,
Yep.
So that's your best shot.
Rice drew a card there with Castle Lockfane. And it looks like it may be time to untap now. And it is. So, 7 lands, 2 Witch's Ovens, 4 food tokens, Cauldron Familiar. There's a Blood Crypt. With Rice got something brewing here. A little confidence coming on. We got 4 mana being tapped. Maybe a Vraska, perhaps? That's actually going to be a Wicked Wolf. I think maybe better than Vraska, potentially. Torbrand down.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Wicked Wolf indestructible. It'll get a counter, of course, for eating a food token. There you go. We'll head back over to Mondello. Remember, has a ton of cards in his hand right now.
And if he has another copy of Experimental Frenzy with this Steamkin, there is a reasonable chance he can essentially just play his whole deck this turn.
Yep. I think that might be Annex. A new one from Theros. Hardened in the Forge. 3 mana Star 3. Don't see Star that often, let alone legendary enchantment creature Demigod. Annex's power is equal to your devotion to red, which now is 3. We'll make it more than that, with the Phoenix of Ash being escaped back. Whenever Annex another non-token creature you control, dies, create a 1/1 red Satyr creature token with this creature can't block. If the creature had power 4 or greater, create 2 of those tokens instead. This one is a pretty push 3-drop for red.
Yeah, I mean, the floor is low. It's just a 2/3, but it's pretty trivial to get more devotion on your turn, and the ceiling is very high.
And you see Phoenix of Ash. The 2/2 Flying Haste reminds you a lot of Chandra's Familiar for 3 mana, but it can escape and get a little bit bigger.
I think this one's quite a bit better than Chandra's Familiar.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that. Excuse me,
Chandra's Phoenix, rather.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Chandra's Phoenix.
I made the same mistake. Cauldron Familiar is what may have slipped us up here in the booth, as it looks to block a runaway Steamkin. It looks like Mondello is working himself towards maybe a victory here, as again, for Elizabeth Rice, just not many cards in hand and none of the synergies online this game.
Yeah, it looks like Experimental Frenzy was left unchecked for way too long, and even if Rice is playing the better cards, pound for pound, if Mondello is playing 5 a turn against 1, not hard to overwhelm someone in those circumstances.
There's a Witch's Oven.
So 2 blockers and some food. It's possible Rice can squeeze another turn out of this, but it just might be hard with the pumps on the Phoenix of Ash, too. Can't forget about that power.
Looks like they may have gotten the W.
No, I think that was just a good draw step.
I see.
Not that any of them are that bad.
Yeah, I think most of them are good. Don't forget that Mondello has 2 of those castles down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what I don't. Oh, Emperor Cleave. Sure, man.
Oh, that's a good combo. Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Sure, bro.
Yeah.
Helps with devotion,
so,
too. Oh, you want to count it up?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Go ahead.
I think it's 22.
Roughly. Oh, T-Swift. T-Swizzle.
So 22, but, Rice just gets to absorb 4, so that's only 18.
Okay.
And then 19.
Wicked Wolf can eat food. We can also eat food, gain some life. It's a lot.
Right. So it's just, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's negative a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So I think Umezawa's Jite and Batterskull are the best equipments ever made. Ember Cleave is quickly rising up the ranks.
Yeah, Ember Cleave is way less of a self-contained. Like, Batterskull is just like, here's Batterskull, it wins the game on its own.
Yeah.
And Jite is just any creature in Jite and it's game over. Ember Cleave is like, you got to have a lot of creatures and the details matter.
You don't really have to have a lot of creatures.
But you also have to be particular about what creature it goes on. It's
Well,
not.
that I agree with you.
Jite is good on a Suntail Hawk.
Yeah.
Embercleave is not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a. I mean, it's really, really good, but I think it's a cool one to make good.
I'm fine with you putting your power points in that card.
Right. It's just a lot of game leading up and afterwards, hopefully, and it's a, pretty exciting effect.
Might be better than every sword ever printed. Sword of Fire and Ice, Feast and Famine, blah blah blah.
Again, it's sort of like it's not. To some extent, it's not fair to compare them because decks get built around this card because it actually asks you to be attacking and ideally with things that have high power.
Sure.
Whereas Sword of Fire and Ice is busted with Noble Hierarch.
Sure.
So you just don't see the same optimization taking place.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, it's really good. I mean, at first read, I did not think Evercleave was much to write home about. And you see it on the battlefield, it's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than I thought.
Elizabeth Rice struggling to try to stay alive through this Embercleave attack, if it's even possible. Now Mondello, I think he might be activating a castle here, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. All right, we got an activation of Castle Embrith. +1/+0 to the squadron. More damage. It's a lot of damage.
I mean, this is just a million, right?
As far as I can tell, creatures you control get +1/+0. Like this card, free roll.
Yeah. 1,000,005. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah. Nothing like 1,000,005.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to do it. Jack Mondello is going to win this game of match here against Elizabeth Rice. 2-0, which means the team of Marshall, Merriam, and Mondello will take care of DeJoy, Larrow, and Rice.